Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm going to show you today is going to set you up for a great Saturday on Memorial Day weekend better than I have ever done before, because the irony in the clips that I'm about to show you from far left progressive, the Young Turks, undermining their position on the Second Amendment by arguing for the debt ceiling is going to be one of the highlights of at least the last few days. I promise you're going to love this. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and send this one out because this is incredibly important to bolster our point. And if you are new or you're a returning viewer, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and making sure you turn the notification bell on. We need as many of you as possible to get in the ranks with us to spread this type of information to push our position and pass the Second Amendment on to the next generation. Thank you so much in advance for your consideration. And guys, make sure you make comments down there, you like the video, and you send this out because this is gold. And speaking of gold, the content today is sponsored by Lear Capital. Now, everyone knows that there's a recession looming, and no matter if Biden wants to pull an ATF and change the definition of a recession or not, we all know what the real weather is, and it's a good time to partner with a company for gold for your future investments. Now, there are a lot of gold companies out there to partner with. I choose Lear Capital because I trust them, and you can too. With over 25 years experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, they are a company that you can trust to not only protect your future investment, but also your retirement accounts through gold and silver. The best way to invest in silver or gold is to talk to my friends at Lear Capital. There's a number on screen the whole time, or you go to learlangley.com where you can find out if you qualify for up to $15,000 in free metals. And please make sure you ask them about rolling over either a 401k or an IRA into precious metals to protect your future. Thank you so much to Lear Capital. The number has been on the screen the entire time, and there's a link in the description box. And again, I can't wait to hear from you guys in the comments on this video. All right, my brothers and sisters, now that we are getting to the good, to meet the sweetness of this entire video, please leave comments down there because the irony is so rife it hurts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a clip. Now, some backstory on this. If you don't know the Young Turks, I'm going to spare you. It's far left progressive propaganda. However, they're always against gun control. They're always for bigger government. They're always for more spending. They hate Republicans. They love Democrats. They're like far left, okay? Well, they are extremely against gun control frequently. But I'm about to show you something where they're talking about a debt ceiling increase argument. That's the backstory here. They want Biden to invoke the 14th Amendment. Wait until you hear this. I'm just gonna leave the Second Amendment up on the screen, and you guys can tell me why in a second. This is gold.
He could go on TV and read the 14th Amendment to people, okay? And then I would add something that's super obnoxious, which only I would do. But here, I'll read the 14th Amendment for you guys. Quote, the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law shall not be questioned. Where's the complicated part? I mean, there's literally a very specific amendment that tells you that our debt shall not be questioned, that it must be paid.
Yeah.
Like, so the part that I would do, Biden hasn't even said that. What? Do a press conference, put a giant board up with the quote from the 14th Amendment, read it, and then ask them, do you have trouble with the English language?
Now, what could I be thinking right now? Because clearly there's an amendment that says it has to be done. What's the problem? Do you have a problem with the English language? And this is just the first clip, by the way. So you can immediately see the ultimate irony and why I really want you guys to send this one out, because he's going down the road on the debt ceiling under the 14th Amendment, where it's perfectly fine. The amendment says right here, clear as crystal, the debt shall be paid. Why do you have a problem with the English language? Period. What's the problem? In fact, Biden should probably put the 14th Amendment up on a board and say, why can't you read this? What are we talking about? Okay, little fun game. If you haven't figured out where I'm going yet, why don't we do it with the Second Amendment? Because it shall not be infringed. You know, just things I think about. But anyway, it gets even better. Listen to the second clip. The lack of self-awareness from the people who identify in this side of the spectrum is insane. All right, let's continue. This is great.
I'm using the 14th Amendment. This is exactly what it was for. So sad day for you, we're moving on. Oh, by the way, Republicans, and now here's the jank part. Here, I brought a cup so you could fill it with tears. That we have the 14th Amendment. I know you hate it, but we do have it. And by the way, I'm introducing a law to help Republicans read the English language, because apparently they're not very good at it. And I would do a real bill and I would introduce it.
Anybody? Please roast this in the comments down there. So it's clear as crystal. I'm going to introduce a bill because you can't speak English and you can't read English. And by the way, it's there. I know you hate it, but you know what? Let's move on because it's there. Isn't it interesting that a far left progressive like Cenk Uygur can say that about the 14th Amendment? You say that around the Second Amendment, and you are an extremist. Any irony? Again, I always say on this channel that the left cannot have their opinions basically bolstering each other. They're all independent focus group. For example, this situation where it's perfectly fine because it's in an amendment in the 14th Amendment, it shall not be infringed essentially on the financial side. Why can't you read English? It's there. I know you hate it. Here's a cup for your tears. Oh, the Second Amendment. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Common sense safety. We can't do anything like that because that's just insanity. You're insane. Okay. Well, maybe it's just that one outlier. Well, the Second Amendment, if we could save one life, it'll be worth all of the infringements across the board. Next column. Well, abortion's perfectly fine because it's not about life, it's about women's health rights. Again, what? The more that you highlight the hypocrisy, the more that you highlight the inconsistencies with their thought trains, it's not too difficult to defeat them in a debate like this right here. If you take out the word 14th Amendment, put in Second Amendment, you would think that he's talking about gun rights. But he's not. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below if I landed this plane or not, and please send this one out because this is the type of stuff that will defeat them in the end. And that's what I've got for you. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one.